Hey, this is Barrett again, checking out this Turin DF64 grinder for Espresso outlet. And I wanted to just kind of take a closer look at some of the features. The power button, it's a nice snappy power button. It's hard to tell because I have some lights on, but it's lit up when it's plugged in and it has a nice click. Now, the one thing that I kind of don't like about it is when you have your cup in, you can tell you're kind of having to reach under to hit the button. I think that's a little bit awkward. Now, if you're going to dose using your portafilter, or this bottomless portafilter, you have plenty of room. So, if you're using the dosing cup, which I actually really like, it may be a little bit more difficult to hit that button. Really hadn't bothered me too much, but that was one thing that I noticed. And when I pulled it out of the box, I noticed it kind of had some scratches on the dial. But, let's see. It's just the protective film. So, now it's like, it's real glossy. It's real easy to read. I like how they have quite a few increments. It is a stepless grinder. And it has this little slot in the front, which you use to line up for your setting. I ran it on about 14 this morning. Now, everyone's beans are going to be different. You should be adjusting beans, but I started it on about 17, went to 15, and my third shot on 14 was amazing today. So, that might give you a good starting point at least. The bellows fits in the top and fits real nice, and it has this aluminum lid, and there's actually an O-ring into a slot, and when you're just putting it in the bellows, it just kind of lays there, but it does make a nice seal. Now, what you can do if you don't want to use the bellows is it snaps on the top, and this is actually how it comes out of the box. What I noticed from using it today is you will most definitely want to use the bellows, because I'm pretty sure quite a bit will be retained in here if you don't. But I just left the grinder going, gave it a couple pumps, and quite a bit came out. My first video this morning I did 18 in and I got 17.9 out. I did my third one, which I didn't record, I did 18 in and got 18 out. So it's really, I would say, quite minimal retention. I mean, you're still going to have a little bit of crud in there, but I'd say that's any grinder if you're not going to wipe it out. And I purposely left mine a little bit dirty after grinding. This is using it 4 times. So might want to give it a clean every few days. Pretty easy to do. What else? I mean, it's a really basic grinder. What I really wasn't sure about is I didn't know if this base is plastic or not, and it is actually like cast aluminum. Same with these forks. These are cast aluminum forks, and this bezel in the front and the chute is cast aluminum. I thought this might be aluminum with plastic over it. It's actually cast aluminum, and this top area is aluminum. So, I mean, on this whole grinder, there's hardly any plastic so far. Some rubber on these forks. You'll have some plastic in your switch, of course. You have your rubber, which that's to be expected. And whatever material this is, I don't know if it's just like a high quality plastic. I don't know. And for the most part, mine was set to 0. I went down about 1 notch's worth past 0, and that was the burrs touching. Don't do this with it running. I adjusted it and just spun it by hand until they started touching. Pretty simple. I mean, there's no time error adjustment. There's no electronics on this thing. I mean, it's pretty easy to use. I'm sure some people have issues dialing it in, but I literally had this dialed in close enough within 2 shots this morning. By my 4th one, it was perfect. I mean, I wouldn't adjust it anymore. So I'm looking to compare this against, I have the Super Jolly over here. And I also, not down here, have a K30 and an Atom 75. So the K30 uses very similar size burrs. The Super Jolly uses identical burrs, but by a different manufacturer. These are Italmill and whoever makes Mazzer burrs. They're all Italian made. The K30 actually has some aftermarket burrs because I did get it used. I got it pretty beat up. And I replaced it with some titanium. They're not SSP, but they're really similar to SSP burrs. So far I've been pretty happy with it. I don't know if it'd be worth several $100s extra, but I had to try it out. I've not really used some of the SSP style burrs. So let me know what you think of this little grinder if you have one, or if there's anything else that you'd like to know or see about it. I'll be doing some comparison reviews here soon. Thanks.